Have you ever felt like you're doing everything right, yet something deep inside feels missing? Like your days are full, but your heart feels empty. Like your body keeps moving forward, but your soul is standing still. If you've ever felt that quiet ache, this story is for you. There was once a man named Aaron, 35 years old, working a corporate job in the heart of a busy city. Every morning, his alarm rang at exactly 6:30 a.m., not a minute earlier, not a minute later. He'd roll out of bed, brush his teeth, make the same coffee, and stare at his reflection for just a few seconds longer than necessary. Then he'd de-dress in his white shirt and gray tie and rush to catch the 7:20 bus. Already scrolling through emails before the day had even begun. His life followed a perfect routine. Work, commute, eat, sleepy, repeat. From the outside, Aaron looked successful. A steady job, a clean apartment, a decent salary. The kind of life many people dream of. But inside, something felt off. It wasn't sadness. Not exactly depression. It was just emptiness. A quiet hollowness he couldn't quite explain. Almost every night, as he lay in bed staring at the ceiling, the same question echoed in his mind. Is this really all there is? One Sunday morning, a strange impulse nudged him to do something different. Instead of staying home, he went for a walk in a nearby park, a place he hadn't visited in years. The air felt fresh. The sunlight painted everything in soft gold. Children laughed. Couples walked slowly. Old men played chess under the trees. Life felt unhurried there. For the first time in a long while, Aaron felt a sense of calm. He sat on a bench and simply watched. A few steps away, he noticed an old man sitting cross-legged under a tree, sketching in a notebook. His movements were slow and peaceful. Something about him just felt grounded. Aaron felt drawn to him, so he walked over and asked, "Excuse me, sir, what are you drawing?" The old man smiled without looking up. "I'm not drawing something," he said. "I'm drawing nothing." Aaron frowned. "Nothing," the old man chuckled softly. "Everyone in this world is busy trying to make something. Money, status, a future. But in trying to make something, they forget how to be. Peace doesn't come from what's on the page. It comes from the stillness of the hand holding the pencil." The words didn't make logical sense, but they landed somewhere deep inside Aaron. The old man closed his notebook, stood slowly, and looked directly at him. "You look tired," he said gently. "Not tired of life, but tired of pretending to live when you're ready to truly live. Stop running, sit, listen." Before Aaron could reply, the old man smiled and walked away. That night, Aaron couldn't sleep. The words kept repeating in his mind. Stop running, sit, listen. He realized just how restless he had become, always chasing something, always filling the silence with noise. His apartment was full of expensive things he'd bought to feel good, yet he felt profoundly uncomfortable in his own skin. The next day at work, he looked around at his coworkers. They were rushing between meetings, typing endlessly, talking without ever really listening. They looked just like him, alive on the outside, but empty on the inside. A thought struck him like a bolt of lightning. Maybe we're all just pretending to live. That evening, instead of going straight home, Aaron took a different route. He wandered aimlessly through the city streets until he noticed a small bookstore tucked between two tall buildings. It was dimly lit, almost hidden from view. Something pulled him inside. The place smelled of old paper and dust, a comforting scent. One book on a shelf seemed to call out to him. Its title was The Art of Being. He opened it to a random page. One line stopped him cold. You don't find your purpose by seeking it. You find it by remembering who you were before the world told you who to be. He bought the book immediately. That night, as he read, something shifted within him. He saw how his entire life had been about doing, achieving, proving himself. No one had ever taught him how to simply be. He decided not to quit his job or escape his life, but to change it from the inside out. He decided to slow down. The next Sunday, he returned to the park, hoping to see the old man again. He wasn't there, but on the same bench where he'd first seen him, Aaron found a small, leather-bound notebook. Inside, on the first page, were the words, "When the student is ready, the teacher disappears." Aaron smiled. He knew it was for him. Inside the notebook were simple sketches, trees, birds, faces. Beneath one drawing of a sunrise, a single line read, "Life begins when you start noticing." Aaron sat on that bench for hours, just breathing, listening, being. He noticed the sound of the wind in the leaves, the melody of a child's distant laughter, the steady rhythm of his own heartbeat. For the first time, everything felt truly alive. Over the next weeks, small changes began to follow. He stopped checking his phone first thing in the morning. He started eating his meals slowly, tasting every bite. He'd take walks without headphones, just listening to the world around him. Each night, he began to write in a journal, not about his tasks, but about his feelings. At first, the silence felt uncomfortable. The stillness felt heavy. But then, something beautiful happened. Peace arrived, quietly, without any fanfare. One morning, he noticed the way the sunlight was reflecting through a simple glass of water on his table, creating a tiny rainbow. It was an ordinary moment, yet it felt breathtaking. He smiled. For the first time in years, he felt a deep sense of gratitude just to be alive. He picked up the old guitar that had been collecting dust in his closet. He joined a local art club. He started creating things not for money or for applause, but for the pure joy of it. Slowly, piece by piece, he began to meet the version of himself he had long forgotten. Months later, sitting under that same tree in the park, Aaron read one final line in the old man's notebook. It said, "When you stop chasing shadows, the light finds you." And suddenly, everything made sense. His purpose wasn't something out there to be found. It had always been within him. The emptiness he had felt wasn't a curse. It was an invitation to wake up. Tears rolled down his face, not from pain, but from a profound sense of release. "I get it now," he whispered to the wind. Aaron's life didn't drastically change on the outside. He still had the same job, the same apartment, but inside, everything was different. He now lived with awareness. He smiled more. He listened more. He chased peace instead of praise. Sometimes, when he sat under that tree, he could almost hear the old man's voice in the rustling leaves. "You stopped drawing something. Now you're living the art of nothing." And that emptiness that once haunted him, it became space. Space for peace. Space for joy. Space for life. Sometimes you have to lose yourself to remember who you truly are. If you're feeling empty, know that it's not a curse. It might just be a call to awaken. Life doesn't begin when you add more things to it. It begins when you start letting go of everything that isn't you. Thanks for watching. If this story resonated with you, please consider liking and subscribing for more content like this. Take care.